Hello Australia, Mitch is away, I'm in charge and the circus has come to town. And what a fun-filled show we've got for you tonight. On tonight's show, step parents, can they overstep the mark? When your past comes back, should you reveal all? And has society gone too politically correct, counselling the fireworks? All that and more with our star-studded panel coming up soon.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
Hello Australia and welcome to Sweet and Sour, filmed in front of a live studio audience. And now, let's meet our star-studded panel tonight. Clint, how are you going?
Good evening, mate. I'm well, thank you.
I see you got the beard going.
Just a little bit of a winter warmth on my face.
Oh, okay, and emceeing, a lot of events coming up.
Now that it's spring again, nice summer weather. Got quite a few coming up.
Fantastic, and next up is Ooh La La. And Ooh La La, you're tonight's virgin panellist.
Yeah, tonight I am losing my virginity, that's right, yes.
Oh, what we love, what we absolutely love. There you go. And I tell you what, there's a lot of men very excited, and women I bet at home as well hearing that. And Margy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, I'm glad to be back. Thank you so much for having me again.
Wonderful to have you back.
Yeah, and I love it because I always meet sort of really interesting people on the panel. So yeah, it's a good night tonight, I think.
Fantastic.
Loving
And
you,
rounding out our star-studded panel tonight, it's Darryl. How are you going, Darryl?
Thanks very much, John. Star-studded panel. I like that.
Exactly.
I feel like a star.
Exactly. Mitch is away. It's a star-studded panel.
Cat's away.
Exactly. Yes, indeed. You know what they say. And well, let's get back on with the sayings with our first letter. Brat attack. Hello, panellists. My wife has two 11-year-old twins, one boy, one girl from a previous marriage. We have no other kids and probably won't, but we'll see. The twins see their father regularly. He's a pretty good bloke, doing his fair share for them and providing for them. They live with me and my wife the majority of the time, and it's a happy, harmonious arrangement most of the time. The young girl last week had an absolute spoiled brat attack and screamed the house down because she didn't want to go to the movies with all of us. She ruined it for everyone. But here's the rub. Instead of taking some advice from me, my wife told me to stay out of it because she's not my daughter. She said she could handle it. Well, she couldn't because we all stayed home. Yet the 11-year-old princess, once having ruined it for everyone, was behaving as if nothing had happened. She got away without learning any consequences. Worse, at the same time, she drove a wedge between my wife and I. Do I sit back again next time, or do I have some right to ensure this little brat learns consequences when she tries to cause some pain and discomfort to others again? And what would possibly be in my wife's head thinking that her daughter will ever learn to behave appropriately without proper consideration for others? Oscar, Clayton, Victoria, let's go to our first panellist, Darryl.
Well, thanks, John. I'm not overly sure that things are as bad as what Oscar has made out. I mean, there is a twin. Am I not correct in saying that?
Two.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a twin. So
It takes two.
yeah, I couldn't imagine that the spoilt brat would be the only one that would be behaving so, wildly. But it seems that this is the first time that you've had to deal with this, Oscar. Mate, get used to it. The entitlement attitude is prevailing. I know a girl personally. She grew up with slaves, and then eventually she had her family waking her up with a massage each morning at age 16 with a cup of tea. Some people,
I don't know what sort of slavery you're referring to with the massage there, but thanks for clarifying that one.
Well, it's in an African country, but let's just say that it doesn't help. Babysitting and spoiling and treating kids like brats, it doesn't help. Mate, it's up to you. If you've got a backbone, do something. If you're going to sit by and idly let things happen, then that's up to you too. But it sounds like that you're going to get told what to do if you don't make a decision soon enough, as I think your wife has already done.
What do you reckon, Margy? Somebody comes in and
I
tries
think
to give you
Clint's got
advice
an
on how to
iron.
raise your children?
And that's a bit of an iron fist, wasn't it?
No.
You know what? I think if you're going to live in the structure of a family, then you all have to find your place. And I think it's unrealistic to say your place is actually not in here. I do think it's the mother's job to make sure that everything's in order, because at the end of the day they are her children, and I think first and foremost it's her responsibility. But if she's welcomed someone into that clan, then she needs to give them a role as well. And I think the children need to understand that there is a dog pack, and he's actually up in the dog pack. He's actually not lower than the children. To be honest with you, I live in a structure very similar to that. So, you know, my kids have grown up with someone outside of our immediate family.
So do you let him discipline them?
He doesn't need to be honest with you, because I sort of am the one who's always making sure that everything's in order. But every so often I think he's felt like, you know, he just wanted to have his say, and, you know, he needs to feel that, because it would be very hard to sort of watch things unfold and unravel, and in a family not every day is a perfect day. So, you know what, I think she needs to, you know, recognise that if she wants to have this structure of a family, she needs to have a little bit of input from him, to be fair.
A little bit of input. Oh la la, what do you think? Do you think you should have a bit of input?
Well, you got into marriage and you were aware of what's coming, and you are responsible for bringing those kids up, unfortunately, whether you like it or not. So in my opinion, you have three choices. First of all, get involved and argue with your wife and be responsible. Second of all, just stop putting up with that shit if you can't take it and leave, unfortunately. Or you can go in between, and when that happens again, you know, get some maids, get some money, go to strippers.
Oh, okay. There we go. Well, Clint, somebody who would appreciate this so far from our panellists, we've had talk of massaging, talks of iron fists, talks of strippers. So, what do you think, Clint? What's the answer?
Well, look, firstly, I want to know, Oscar, what movie was it that you were trying to take it to? Because there is some crap on at the moment, mate. So I probably would have thrown a tantrum as well if it was some stupid movie. But look, seriously, mate, you used a little bit of language towards your daughter here, stepdaughter, that you probably need to stop. Calling her an 11-year-old princess and a little brat, that's not going to help in any way, shape or form. This is an issue between you and your wife, and you need to have a real good sit down with her and tell her how you're feeling, and work out exactly what, like you were saying, what the structure is, what the dog pack mentality is. You can't start bringing the child into it. Yes, she carried on like she shouldn't have, and yes, she had a tantrum. We all do. I still do at 37. I love a good tantrum. But yeah, you got to sit down. You got to sit down with your wife and sort out pretty quick, because if you don't, it's just going to drive you further and further apart.
But not in the heat of the moment.
Definitely not.
Outside the heat of the moment, sit down and have a chat about it, and talk about how you sort of see the structure of the family or the lay of the land, you know?
It reminds me a little bit of the scene out of Mrs. Doubtfire, where she's looking for a new babysitter, and Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams' character, takes the ability to actually make all the phone calls, and I feel like he's the character at the moment with his anger issues that just wants to give the girl a few light slams,
yes.
or get the hose. You know, the anger and the aggression coming through Oscar. He's obviously got some pent-up energy that he needs to release, and I'm telling you, you know, exactly. Children and females are not the people to be releasing your pent-up tension to. I plead with you, Oscar. You know, you need to get a little bit of help, I think, for yourself, because there is some real anger management issues.
Really nasty.
And really,
across,
absolutely,
and nasty
yes.
towards the child as well, and that's just not the way you should go about it, because it's just going to make everybody angry, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Mike and Carol Brady never had these problems.
And speaking about nastiness, talking about problems, we've got some pretty nasty things coming up from somebody's past right after these messages from our sponsors.
Getting in touch with Sweet and Sour is easy. Just head to sweetandsour.net.au to send us a letter. And while you're there, why not check out our past episodes? Plus, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And for a behind-the-scenes look at Sweet and Sour, check us out on Instagram.
Hello, welcome back, Australia. And if we read your letter out, you write to us, we read it out, we give you an extra special gift, and we're sending you to the movies. This week's movies, Captain Fantastic, thanks to Natalie from NRC Communication. Now, let's get on with our next letter, who we're also sending to the movies. Dear Sweet and Sour, a few days ago I received a large white envelope from a friend. I had been close to in high school. She returned every letter, card and note I had written throughout our 5 years of school. For a minute there I thought it might have been drugs, but unfortunately not. She thanked me for being a great friend and I thought I might like to have them. I can't tell you how upsetting it was to read how awful I was as a teenager. I was promiscuous, used foul language and made references to experimenting with drugs. It brought back so many terrible memories that I had blocked. I've been married for 23 years and I have 3 children who would be crushed if they discovered my past. The letters are full of history and innermost feelings. Some passages are humorous and the thoughts of a silly teenager talking to a dear friend. I can't bring myself to throw them away and I have hidden them. Do my kids have the right to know their mum from these letters? Do I have the right to hide the true history of their mum from them? Vicky, Prospect, South Australia. Clint, first up, what do you think? Reveal all or keep it hidden?
Well, firstly, I just want to say, Vicky, I wish I'd have met you 23 years ago. Promiscuous, foul language and reference to experimenting drugs. Hello, Vicky. It just sounds like everything I'm looking for. But look, firstly, I think it's great that your friends actually kept all this stuff. I reckon I'd love to see some stuff that I had sent to my friends in high school. So, I mean, I think that's a good thing. Secondly, don't ever hide your past, Vicky. Just embrace it. It's part of who you are today. It's part of who you are now. It shapes us. Our past shapes who we are in the present. So I wouldn't be angry about it or you've said that you blocked it out. Why? There's no need to. And that sort of leads on to should you tell your kids or not? You don't really have to. If you want to, you can. But you say your kids might be crushed if they discovered your past. How do you know that? They might not be crushed. They might view their mum in a completely different light and it might actually bring you closer together because they might be doing similar things in their teenage years now. So don't hide it, but if you feel like you don't need to share it, don't. But don't be drawn into the whole, I wish I wasn't like that in the past, because it's who you are now.
What do you think, Urszula?
I think we have all done horrible things when we were teenagers, and that's what, as Clinton said, that's what shapes us, and there's absolutely no reason to be ashamed of it. I don't think you should be sharing it with your kids. Let them learn for themselves, because I pray to God every day that my parents don't tell me all the details of when they were teenagers. And if I am ever to have kids, I'm probably not gonna be so open about it either. And the other thing I have to say, your letter makes me happy about you, because if you are really worried about stuff like that, it means there is no bigger problems in your life, or you just drama queen, basically.
Okay, well, indeed. Margy, what are you yourself? Bit of a drama queen. Do you reveal all to your children?
Well, as the years go by, things do come out, I've got to say it. Sometimes when my friends, come over and they want to tell those great stories of the past, which, I love a good story. Sometimes I'm not quite ready for that information to come to my children. Might do a bit of that business in the background. But actually, I think it's good that your kids know that you're a real person, and mine certainly have come to realise that I was a colourful character when I was younger. I guess probably too, there's nothing that they can do that I haven't done. It's good for them to sort of see that. I think the envelope's a beautiful thing. I'd be treasuring it. Yeah, I think I'd be reading it, late at night. Certainly when I'm an old lady, I'll be going through those letters one more time.
What about yourself, Darryl?
Yeah, look,
disclose
John,
all or keep it hidden?
Oh, I'm a bit of a fan of the disclose all, because research has been done that shows that old people, when they're sitting on their deathbed, 9 times out of 10, they regret what they didn't do. They rarely regret what they did. And so, in a kind of therapeutic sense, you're probably better off letting the emotion go and not blocking the memory. Those memories are good. I agree with Clint. They serve us, they help form us, they help give us a foundation. And you wouldn't be who you are today without them. Despite the fact that you tried to block them and ignore them and not remember them, you wouldn't be who you are today without them. So consider them a springboard, and if it elevates somebody else to know that, good. Good. If the kids take something from it, good.
Yeah, I know, Vicky, I have to say it's one of these things, just disclose all. At the appropriate times, when your children is the appropriate age, how are they meant to learn if they don't understand that you've experienced life yourself? So I think it's wonderful for children to hear stories, promiscuous stories of their parents, parents that have experimented with drugs, parents that understand the frustrations and the needs of the teenage years. That's certainly what I think. But is there any deep, dark, hidden secret on the panel tonight? One of our panelists want to reveal to the entire Australia. Anybody want anybody a secret anywhere? Here we go. Reveal all panelists.
My whole life, he's on Facebook. I have no secrets.
Oh, let me tell you, Australia. Clint's whole life, quite literally, including his bowel movements, are on Facebook. So there's no hiding. Clint very much is a reveal all, and certainly we're about to reveal all because we're about to go to another commercial break. Thanks to our very kind sponsors. Please support them. But when we come back, we're going to reveal who is the winning letter tonight. So, who's your favourite so far? Will our panellists choose your favourite? Will it be the third letter? Has society gone politically correct, incorrect at the moment, or politically correct? We'll find out right after these generous commercials from our sponsors. See you then.
Sweet and sour, not a bloody another intro. Or is it an outro? Or is it an in-outro?
Sweet and sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Hello, Australia. Right back into it, right into our last letter. Will this be the winner? We'll see very shortly. Hello, Sweet and Sour panellists. They've canned the fireworks. They've actually axed the annual Fremantle Australia Day celebration fireworks that we've celebrated for as long as I can remember. Because get this, according to Fremantle City Council, celebrating Australia Day on January 26 is culturally insensitive to Indigenous Australians who view January 26 as Invasion Day. So we've taken an event that seeks to bring everyone together and painted it in 7 shades of negativity and cancelled the fireworks. What a bunch of politically correct drips. I'm the first one to agree that we need to shift the celebration of Australia Day to something more appropriate, perhaps even Anzac Day, because that's appropriate, rather than the anniversary of the day in 1788 that Governor Phillip sailed into Sydney Cove with the first fleet to establish the colony New South Wales. The name Australia didn't even get an airing until Matthew Flinders coined the term much later. So what? Until we all come together and agree on another day to celebrate our nationhood, Australia Day remains on January 26. I'm a Fremantle resident, and this council, or if you like, mob of politically divisive fools, didn't bother to consult the Freo residents and have simply managed to create enormous ill will. At the same time, focus the blame for it on our Indigenous, when the decision has utterly nothing to do with them. How do we get this silly divisive decision reversed, please? Cameron, Fremantle, WA, Margy. The outrage. What do you have it?
You know, time and time again, we are getting so caught up in these little bits and pieces, and I think that we're getting lost in amongst it. I have a lot of Indigenous friends, and I'm very respectful to the Indigenous community, but at the same time, fireworks on that day doesn't sort of help or hinder. It's just part of, you know, what has become, and things evolve, and that's how it has sort of got along the way. And I think, why cancel something that brings everybody together? We need to stop dividing and calling racist issues and all of this. It's a great thing, you know, bring everybody together. It doesn't have to be necessarily to celebrate the, you know, the war between, you know, 2 factions. Is actually to celebrate all of us being together as one. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Bring it on, I say. And you know what? Now when you pass, you can actually become a firecracker. Your last moment on this planet, you can actually be a firecracker. So actually it can sort of take a double sort of purpose. You know, a few people of the local, maybe the Fremantle people, can end their day and become a firecracker.
Oh, what about you, Darryl? You want to be a firecracker on your last day on Earth? Or?
Maybe you're a firework.
That's a pretty cool idea. I'd love to be a firecracker. Yeah. But I just don't understand, how does a culture get offended? John, I just like...
By fireworks?
Yeah, well, how does a culture have an opinion? There's no personal voice behind... A culture is not a thing. There is no one person that's a culture. So are they all... Is everyone culturally insensitive? I just don't understand it, how they've drawn this conclusion. So I agree with you in one way. I don't understand it. Whether it's all about, you know, bringing us together and how that works. But I just don't, I struggle to see how depression could be offended or divorce could be upset. You know, these are not things. A culture is not a thing. It exists in our heads. So I just don't understand.
Well, I think she's mainly referring to the Indigenous community.
Yeah, sure, that's right. And you'd need to speak to every single one and have their, you know, just, this isn't even a realistic reason. So I hope that's not true. Did the Fremantle Council really do that? Are they?
They have indeed. They have absolutely indeed.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of which, Clinton, can you believe it? Clint.
Look, John, I can't really, mate. It's such a sensitive issue. Me and a few mates were actually talking about it a couple of weeks ago, and I had to laugh then when I saw this was a letter tonight, because it caused division amongst us just as a group of friends. That alone is a reason that it shouldn't have happened, because it's causing division now in 2016. I am horrified at what happened to the Indigenous community and Indigenous people way back then. We all know about it. I'm horrified by it. None of us are proud of it. What's cancelling a firework going to do to help it today, though? Nothing. It's going to achieve nothing. All it achieves is continuing to put guilt onto people, onto our children, onto us, for something that we had no control over that many years ago. So, and I also read in terms of this, that the Chamber of Commerce said that event actually brings in $2.5 million to Fremantle. They're not getting that now because it's cancelled. Instead of cancelling it, instead of calling for a cancellation of the event and having a family-friendly event ruined, why don't you have it, maybe include a minute's silence as a remembrance towards the Indigenous community, and put that $2.5 million into the Indigenous community healthcare, a sports program in schools. Surely cancelling it is a lose-lose situation for everybody.
That's such a good idea, just thinking about it in a different direction.
Absolutely.
They haven't actually cancelled Australia Day.
They haven't
simply
cancelled Australia
cancelled
for fireworks. However,
Yes.
a lot of us Aussies, and it is Australia Day, let's remember, it's not a day just for one person, like you said, Darryl. It's for all of us. Yes. But I know they haven't cancelled Australia Day, but why cancel the fireworks which lots of people love?
Indeed. Ooh la la, what do you think? Do you like a bit of fireworks?
Yes, I do. I'm probably coming from the other side a little bit. Let me tell you a quick story. As you can probably tell, I'm a foreigner, I'm Polish, and 70 years ago, Poland got invaded by Russians, right? And to be quite honest with you, I probably wouldn't want to be celebrating that day with them if that happened 5 or 10 years ago. But that happened many, many years ago. And also this happened many, many years ago. And I think it's time for us to just start getting along, move on from, you know, what happened, and just celebrate Australia, as you said. We're not celebrating white Australia or Aboriginal Australia. Let's just enjoy Australia Day for everybody.
Absolutely. We should enjoy Australia Day. And also the ludicrousness of this continues, because just recently in the paper I read that Fremantle's potentially happy if the business people pay to put the fireworks on. So I don't know, it just blows my mind. But anyway, we need to pick a winner very quickly around the panel. Clint, who's your winner tonight? Very quickly.
Number two, Vicky.
Two.
I like the fire in the first
Fire.
one. The first
No,
one,
I
yeah.
like number two.
Two?
I thought
Two?
number two.
I was number 3.
Three. Number 2, you're the winner. Thanks to Aussie Opticals, we're sending you some sunglasses. They'll be getting another white envelope in your letterbox very shortly. And it's not going to be about your past. It's all be about your future. So you can shade your past by putting the sunglasses on. Clint, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Pleasure.
Ooh la la, what a
Thank you
pleasure.
so
What a
much for
pleasure.
having me. Thank you.
Fantastic version you've been tonight. Margy, thank you very
tonight,
much.
just tonight.
Just tonight. No, we can't say it again. We can't say it again. Once only.
That's it.
Margy, yes, thank you very much. Unfortunately, you're a bit experienced now on the panel, as am I, as am Clint, so all Allah's the only virgin. Darryl, thank you very much.
I'm a born-again virgin.
Oh, okay, born again.
Darryl.
Born again, yes. Everybody else born again? Oh, I like to be born again every day. Wonderful. We'll see you next time. Catch you, Australia. Oh, catch you next time. Thank you.